Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Elysian bringing you the biggest waste of time on YouTube. So basically I'm just gonna tell you an old story time about this guy. We shall call this person Coffee, because he is both strong and black. This guy, Coffee, he's like, for some reason, insanely buff and scary. And he's good at running, like across 4-lane parkways in the middle of school hours just to get himself some lunch, which apparently you're not allowed to do. And when he gets caught running across the street, he'll come back and steal your lunch. Like, no joke, this is why people like me keep padlocks on their lunch boxes. Now, I don't blame him for running across the street to get food, because who's gonna settle for the school lunch? But like, don't steal somebody else's and make them settle for the school lunches. He also happens to get into a ton of fights. Like, he has single-handedly, actually two-handedly, gotten himself into like 15 fights, and luckily none of those have involved me, because as I said, I call him Coffee because he's strong and black. I mean, this guy is only in high school and he's got 2 piercings and a freaking sleeve. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he already had a family of 6. I remember one time I saw him with like a wife beater and a do-rag playing his mixtape out of his car, and I was thinking to myself, this guy perfectly fits the stereotype. I mean, I'm not trying to be racist. I mean, the guy's freaking scary, okay? Like, this guy is gonna be the person in 20 years where you just walk into the bathroom, see them using the urinal, and you just turn around and walk out. Here's where it gets interesting. So one day he walked into school with 2 other people who didn't look like they were high school age. And later that day, around lunch, he walked out to the parking lot, which I don't think you're allowed to do either. I don't know, I haven't checked the rules. But he started walking towards his car. And I remember right before he got to his car, he opened up his trunk and then got into his car. Now, he waited like 10 minutes, and then another car came up into the parking lot, and he opened his door and got out and got into the other car. Now remember, I'm watching this from the cafeteria window, so I don't have the best view of him, so I can't really tell. But I saw the driver of the other car get out and go to the trunk as well and grab another bag. At this point, I was fairly certain that there was something going down, but like, I wasn't so sure, and I wasn't gonna tell anybody either, because you know what they say, snitches get stitches. And not snitching would prove to be a very good decision on my part. So they waited there for about 40 minutes, and we've got like an hour in our lunchtime. Another funny thing that happened was some guy in the cafeteria just completely wiped it out with his tray and everything. It kind of looked like the Everybody Splat challenge or whatever it's called. So what happened next was Coffee got out of the car, went back to his own car, and pulled out a bag. He went back to his car, got a bag out, and kids, pay attention, this is where you can actually learn something. He dropped the bag, and you know what happens when you drop the bag? It has a higher chance of whatever you're carrying falling out onto the ground. And guess what happened? Exactly that. So there are 2 kilos, I don't exactly know how much that is, of Mexican chalk sitting on the ground. So rather than just picking it up and shoving it back in the bag as fast as possible, he decides to look both ways and make sure there are no cars coming, and then picks up the drugs. So after he picks up the drugs off the ground, he goes and gets in the other car, and after he's in the car, he just sits there for like a minute. And from my view, I could see that they were talking, but they just weren't moving at all. So after they've been waiting there for like a minute, another car shows up and parks on the far side of the parking lot. Now wait, this is going to be an important detail in just a minute. At this point, lunch is already over and the bell is already rung, so I technically had to be in class. But I basically skipped class just to watch this go down. Another funny thing that happened was the janitor walked in and started cleaning up, and he walked over to me and said, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be in class." So I was pretty sure that if I didn't tell him what was happening, he'd send me back to class, and I pretty much told him to sit down and watch what was going on. Luckily he did. So yeah, we've got some pretty cool janitors at our school. So like 15 minutes after this has happened, me and the janitor are still sitting at my table watching this happen. And all of a sudden, from the back corner of the parking lot, the guy gets out of the black car that's parked in the back and starts walking up to the other car with a gun. And at this point, me and the janitor are just sitting there with our mouths wide open, thinking, What if we're in a freaking episode of NCIS? Almost at the same time as the guy's walking down the parking lot and we're thinking like telepathically to each other, 4 police cruisers pull into the parking lot. Now remember how I said Coffee was a really fast runner? Yeah, so the second those guys pull into the parking lot, he like gets out of the passenger door and just starts bolting. Maybe he made it off of school grounds without getting caught, but I'm pretty sure he got caught because I haven't seen him since. So yeah, after that, basically the janitor said, I have a job to do and you have a class, but I'll let you stay here until the next bell rings and make it for your next class rather than making you walk in halfway through. Oh yeah, and like right after that, the school went into lockdown, so I didn't get out of school anytime soon. I think it was like 4:30 that I got out. I don't remember exact times. I mean, on the bright side, I did remember to bring my 3DS with me, so I guess it wasn't that long of a wait. So after that, they basically searched the whole school, everyone's bag. They searched my bag. They only found a 3DS and a couple papers I ended up getting F's on. But anyway, that's it for my story today. Oh right, and I'm pretty sure I saw the other guy that was in the car in the news the next day, but I'm not sure. I'm still aiming for that 5 likes I haven't got yet. So if we can get 5 likes in this video, guys, I'll upload another video. I'm probably going to do it anyway, but anyway, have a great day, guys. Thanks for tuning in to watch the video. I'm back next week or tomorrow or whenever I get around to making a new video. It's really not that hard to make videos.